who is this man in the white van? Will we find out? I don't know, but let's see. As usual, let's start off with the IMDb plot. In a quaint family town in Florida, 1974, an ominous white van stalks a young girl, and her parents' disbelief leads to a terrifying Halloween nightmare. Alright, Halloween nightmare. Sounds good. Alright, so this is a new film, so we'll try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. I don't know that we're spoiling too much here, but anyways, I also got this as a screener, so just throw that out there. And yeah, so I would say the first thing about this film is it. One of the reasons why I decided to watch it is it seemed like a true crime kind of thing. I kind of found myself liking true crime a lot lately. Um, and I know some horror fans do too. So when I kind of read that and was kind of looking at the pictures and the trailer, I kind of thought, oh, well, this looks kind of like true crime. So, why not give this a chance? And so it's not going to be like horror. It's actually here listed as thriller. So yeah, so it's not huge on blood and guts and so forth. It kind of tries to stick to a real story here. So the way it lays out, so nothing out of the craziness here. Um, so yeah, I definitely think that if you like true crime, this is a film that you might want to check out. So basically, yeah, it follows it does two things. One, it mostly follows a young girl, and you kind of see her there and her little bit of struggles. Um, she's in a family dynamic where she has another sister close in age, uh, but they're very different. And uh, this sister's more into looking good and being popular and that kind of thing, and the the main girl here is kind of more a little bit more adventurous. She you see her early on. She's on a horse. She's going horseback riding. She's a little bit more the outdoorsy, maybe tomboyish type. So uh, they're two different girls here, and obviously the other sister kind of tries to play her parents off her and to um, get under her skin and so forth. And I guess one of the problems for her and comes in the story is that her sister tries to paint her as a girl that kind of tells stories and is lying or maybe telling white lies. So that is obviously not going to help as this film goes on. Um, so we kind of see her, and then you see her in a little bit of her awkwardness and those kind of moments. And she has a good friend at school, but again, you can see that she's a little bit of the outsider, even within her own group of friends. And there's a new boy in school, which she likes, and he happens to like her too, but she's still at that stage where she's not really sure about boys and going about it and so forth. And there's obviously a few other girls who are more sure of themselves and more of like, hey, new boy's here, let's go after him. So there's a little bit of that kind of drama going in. Not that the movie goes full tilt in it, but that is there. And I wouldn't even say that maybe it goes full tilt into thinking that maybe the boy is the killer. He is, um, but they might sprinkle it in here or there, but it has really nothing to do with that. It's just part of her story setup here. Um, and then the other side of the story, you don't get a whole lot of, but as you get little, the movie's gonna focus obviously on this young girl, and as you're gonna see pieces of her life there, and as it does this, you're also going to see this white van. And what it does is it almost does like this countdown, and it goes to different time periods where it shows the white van stalking other girls, um, but in a much faster fashion. And I think there's one girl that maybe they take a little bit more time with, but generally it's pretty quick. And the white van is going to stalk them and catch them real quick. And uh, as the movie goes on, you're going to probably see them do a little bit more and more. I think the first one is, just basically a snatch, and I think maybe even the second one, and then I think later on you actually see more of what this person in the white van does. It never goes too far into it. I would say, um, because I guess they want to hold a mystery to who this person is, and what they're doing and why they're doing it. Um, but as the film goes on, you'll get to see this person be a little bit more violent, on and on. And then, of course, you're going to see him, or this person, I'm guessing it's a guy, whatever, stalking, obviously, the young girl that we're focused on here. And as he kind of stalks her, just basically showing up in the white van, both at her home, at her school, and sometimes on her way home, walking, she's going to notice it, and she's going to tell her parents. And because of the way her sister plays off of her telling stories and so forth, parents aren't really going to be so receptive to this and think that she's just kind of telling stories. So yeah, she's almost on her own there. She even tells her friend, and her friend is kind of on her side, and actually the white van is there one time when her friend is there, and they get a little aggressive and she gets a little aggressive towards the van. But it's like one of those things where, you almost think the van itself is kind of stalking her. It's like revving its engine, showing its lights, and that kind of thing. But then it will, this stalking will progress, and then this person will make their move later on, and towards the final act of the film, and then we're gonna get the drama of does he get her, does he not, does she escape, and that kind of thing. I'm not gonna give away any of that. Let you guys check that out. But I would say, like I said, this is more of a thriller than horror, but maybe for the true crime kind of people out there. And I guess the one thing I was kind of thinking about with the film is, it's never really, it's not like a case. You're not solving a case here. They're never really going to give you an opportunity to see who this person is in the white van, and who they are in town. It's not like the mystery kind of thing. You're not solving the case. I think that the angle really here is from the girl, and if you've watched true crime and you've seen a lot of the stories, and you see young women just be kidnapped and taken away, and so forth, and sometimes you don't know in those stories whether they were stalked before or they just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I think this one kind of is you get to see more of the angle of the young girl here and the fear that she goes through, and she knows she's being stalked, and there's no one there who's really helping her. There is a little bit of her parents coming to her side a little bit at one point, but not really totally, and not, they never really believe in it. So she's really battling a lot of this on her own. So if you watch true crime, and you kind of, a lot of it is about solving the mystery, but you get to hear about how good the person is in the person's life, but you never really see any of the fear that the person goes through. So I think this one is more focused on that, and you get the experience of this young girl, and her fear, and no one believing her as this goes on. So you're getting kind of a different angle there. So she does a good job. in it, and I didn't look her up. I don't know, what if she's done other stuff or not, but she does a good job overall, and the movie's shot very solid, and the story just moves on right on through. Um, I was trying to see how long it was, but it doesn't feel too long. Um, but yeah, I think, like I said, if you're just kind of into to kind of a true crime, just kind of a sit back thriller there, this was definitely a good one. So I know it is showing at festivals now. I think it just has its premiere coming up. So I'm not sure the details down the line of when you guys will be able to catch this. Um, but definitely, again, you just, maybe looking for something maybe not so extreme blood and guts, and you want to enjoy a good thrill, like I said, you're going to see a young woman kind of be stalked, and kind of see her struggles through it. Kind of thing, then this movie might be for you guys. So I'm going to give it 3 pools of blood. That is out of 5. Um, Definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, it doesn't kind of get into solving the case. I guess I kind of missed that. Wish maybe it was a little bit about that. I'm assuming this is probably based on a true story. I don't know. But it seems like it very so. If not, a combination of true stories, because we know this happens often. And again, if you watch true crime, you know this happens a ton. Whether the person is stalked or just happens to, like I said, be at the wrong place or at wrong time. It happens. So, if you're kind of into that, and yeah, it would be nice to go through the mystery of it, but we see a lot of that, and I mean, when you watch a lot of the true crime shows, that's what it's about. So this is maybe a little bit more victim focused. So yeah. So with that, horrorgory-reviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews, written and video. But of course, if you're just interested in the video ones, subscribe, like, all those things that everybody wants you to do. If not, no worries, no problem. Also still on Twitter, X, whatever. Facebook, feel free to reach out, talk horror. If you need me to review something, please send it my way. Feel free to ask. And definitely in the comments section, if you're a true crime fan as well, let me know, what you guys are watching. If there's anything I should know that's out there that I haven't seen, I'd definitely be interested. And if you eventually catch this one, definitely share your thoughts. So with that, I guess I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.